Hey, I just wanted to put together a quick little video on how to do kind of a workaround for breakout rooms. Our division doesn't subscribe to the upper tier of Google Workspaces for education. So we don't have the built-in breakout room. So we have to kind of do a bit of a workaround to make it work for us. And I'll show you in this video how to make kind of the quickest possible. So what you can do first is you can open up a new tab, just a new kind of Google Doc or a Word doc that you're going to keep track of all these different breakout rooms. And once you've got that kind of made, you can go to meets.new is probably the easiest way to do that in your search bar. It's going to open up another Google meeting for you. And we're going to use this code that it generates here. Okay, and we're going to save that code for as many different meets as we need. So we can do that over and over again. And the nice thing is we only have to do this step really once. The codes that are generated on this are good for, I believe, 90 days since the last time they were entered. So that's going to work great for us. And I'm just going to copy and paste if I need 5 codes. It's not, it would be nice to have those built-in breakout rooms, but luckily, like I said, I only have to kind of do this once. So once I've got kind of, say I want my 5 breakout rooms, you could do this as many times as you want. To make your life easier, if you go https:// for each of those, they'll be kind of linked up properly. So I'll just copy those, paste, 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 paste. And now all those are hyperlinked properly. And you almost treat Google Meet rooms like physical spaces. So if I have this, and I'll just kind of move this to the side so you can see me again here. If you have these codes, think of these like rooms. Okay, right now they're empty rooms. So my group A, and I'll have group B, C, D, and E. So B, C, D, and E. And like I said, once you have these made, you can use these rooms for all your different classes and you can reuse these codes again and again and again. So there's nothing that kind of restricts you from doing that. So once you've got kind of the breakout rooms all made here, the nice part is you don't have to enter into them to open them up. The kids can just have that access. They can go into them no problem on their own. The only thing we've run into is kids aren't always using their district email and password to go in. So they're trying to go in with a Gmail or a Hotmail. And that thing will pop up at the top that they're not, they're in kind of the lobby, the waiting room. They're not being allowed to go directly into it. So if kids are having problems, the easiest way to do that is just to allow them or let them know that they're going to, if they're running into issues, they need to log into their my.ecsrd account or their district account. That's a bit of an issue because they can often be in the classroom Google Meet, no problem. But when they try to enter into the breakout room, it's defaulting to whatever their default Google account is or whatever on their device. So that's a bit of a pain we've been kind of working with for this. But you can put this, I would recommend putting this either in your class, your Google Classroom, either the announcement section or under the classwork section. I also copy and paste it. I put it into the chat. But students that come in and out of the chat, like have Wi-Fi issues or show up late, they won't always see this, right? They can't always see it in there. So I actually end up putting it in 2 places. Ahead of time, I'll usually try to make my groups. Okay, so group A is these people, group B is these people, but you could do this on the fly as well. Okay, and just you're assigning, okay, you guys are going to group A, you guys go to group B, you go to group C. And if they turn off their mics, they can leave the main chat. That seems to work well. If they stay in it, that's okay too. But at least mute their mics in the main chat so it's not bouncing all around everywhere. The easiest kind of way to do it if you're managing it now. So you're in your Google Meet, okay, together with the whole class. You've posted the breakout rooms. You've assigned who's going where. You've told everybody, okay, now I want you to go to your Google Meet, your breakout rooms, and they start leaving. Okay. What you can do is, if you want to open them all up, you can, but one that can get kind of heavy on depending on the device you're using. So what we find is usually easiest for these is if you go into them kind of one at a time. So if I click on the first one here, I go into that meet, right? I can join the meet, okay? I can listen in. So I join in. I'm listening in how they're doing. I can give any feedback. I can do anything I need to just to give them ideas of what's going on. I can listen for a bit. I can tell them when they're going to come back. Any other information I need, I can post in that chat. And then when I'm done, okay, I leave that one. I can jump into the next. So I keep this Google Doc open. I jump into the next one, join, and I'm popping in and out of each one. And I'm just kind of, by default, I'm listening a little bit to see how they're doing. If they need some help with their conversations, I can go from there. And I'm going into one at a time, and I'm just closing out. That way I'm not getting all the noise from all the different ones. And it's kind of a bit easier on my computer, especially if I'm running off a Chromebook or a laptop, so it doesn't kind of freeze up and crash from there. You can for sure run all of them at one time if you're on a desktop, if you've got at least kind of a powerful enough computer. But one thing I would really recommend then, if you do that, there is an extension. I've got so many extensions, just called Mute Tab, okay, which allows you to mute an individual tab that you're listening to. So say you've got all the 5 different windows or a bunch of different tabs up here. So I've clicked on this one. I've clicked on this one. I've clicked here. I have all these different tabs open. I'm in all the different meets. I can actually use that mute tab. It's a bit hard to see on mine just because of the black background, but I can mute this one. I can mute this one just so I can hear what's going on. The only tricky thing with this, if you're not using kind of a different extension or anything like that, one, it can slow down the computer a bit if you're using video on all these, because you've got a lot of video feeds coming in. So it might be beneficial to shut off your video. And the other part of this was you have to really make sure your microphone is shut off for the different ones, because I've done this before and I was talking to one group and they said, is McKenna talking to us? And I realized my mic was open in another breakout room. So it's a little more, if you're going to work it that way, that's why I really recommend just open each one, close it up, go from there. Okay, you're done, class. Okay, I want to do this for block 2. No problem. I can use the same meeting codes. And if there's ever any issues with it, you can just create another one and then use that as your default room. Because once again, think about these breakout rooms just as individual rooms that you're using. So hopefully that helps you out. If there's any issues, you can always give me an email or anything like that. And hopefully that works for you. There is an extension I've used a couple of times too. I should mention a breakout rooms one. Maybe I'll do another video just on that. That one does work too. Okay. And once you get it kind of down this way, it makes that other one a little easier because there's a lot to it. But yeah, this is a kind of easy workaround. Once you set it up once, you're pretty well good to go from there. All right. Take care.